So we got all the Google Pixel Fold info leaked. Interesting. So this will be teased on the 26th from Google, and then actually shown off and revealed on their event next month, which we talked about before. Shout out to Front Page Tech for going and posting this, but yeah, this is all the information leaked. So there will be 3 different iterations of the Google Pixel Fold. 2 will come in, 1 will come in chalk, 1 will come in obsidian. There will be 256 gigabyte models, and they will retail for $1,800 USD, which is rather quite disappointing because this is, in my opinion, I think a lot of people's opinions, way too much money for this phone when it's a first-gen product, and we don't know if it's going to be successful, if Google's going to cancel it after 1 year, what's going to happen. To really put it in the same ballpark range as a premium product like the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold series, I think could be an absolute failure. But here's where they could kind of backtrack and become successful. If they give you an option to trade in, let's say, for example, a Z Fold 4, and they give you an option when you trade in Z Fold 4, you get up to $1,000, then that could be a W overall wise, because then you could bring down the price to $799, and it could bring over a lot of Z Fold users to the Google Pixel lineup in order to go ahead and pick up and get more users to their phone. Also, another thing is, when you do buy this phone, you are going to be getting, if you pre-order the phone, you're going to be getting a free Pixel Watch 2, so at least you get some kind of benefit in the end, but it really does matter on the trade-ins and how the trade-ins work. If the trade-ins are worth the money, then it will be worth the money, but if the trade-ins are not, it's simply going to be, in my opinion, way too much for the average consumer. Alright, other than these 2 models, there is one other model, and that is going to be an Obsidian Oni model. It's 512 gigabyte option, and it will be coming in at $1,900 and $1,900 and $1,919. I try my best to do that, I don't know why. Anyway, though, $1,919, it will be an Obsidian model Oni. It is coming in at 512 gigabytes. It's not surprising, we saw this with the Surface Duo 2, where they had a 3rd iteration that was Obsidian Oni, and it was a 512 gigabyte option. So this will be coming in at $1,919, which again will be rather expensive. A little bit more expensive than we see out of the Z Fold lineup. Actually, I think the Z Fold lineup is $1,999. So for the 512 gigabyte models. So actually, it's not too much more expensive. Although, let's be honest, the freaking Fold lineup, every single other second, there's a discount for it to be almost half the price. So that's always interesting. Nonetheless, though, as he says right here, on the 26th, there will be a teaser, and then we will see it actually released and talked about on May 10th. That's when pre-orders will go live, and you'll be able to actually, first try to get this phone. I say try because we never know what's going to happen when it comes to scalpers. Front display, 5.8-inch display, 17.4 by 9 aspect ratio. FHD plus OLED, 2992 by 1080 pixels, 408 ppi, and 120 hertz smooth display, which is actually a really big W. We expected the outside display to be 120 hertz. It's kind of like the norm nowadays, where the inside display might not be 120 hertz, but the outside display is going to be 100% across the board. But the inside display is also 120 hertz, so that's actually even more of a W. 7.6 inch 6 by 5 aspect ratio, 2208 by 1840 OLED, 380 ppi, 120 hertz. Again, we don't know what the crease looks like. We'll find out what the crease looks like on May 10th. It's pretty much what we're going to find out at that point. Alright, battery. Beyond 24 hours. Up to 72. This is Google's all-day battery they've been talking about. And according to sources, and of course right here, Front Page Tech, this will continue on the Google Pixel Fold. We will see how that works out. Ultra wide cameras. We have a 10.8 megapixel ultra wide camera. I think, yeah, he goes through here. Main camera is a 48 megapixel camera, again, keep in mind, megapixels do not matter. What matters is the sensor, which is going to be beautiful, but the megapixels, I know a lot of people look at them and they say 48 million pixels. Oh my god, that's amazing. No. It's only if you're putting out the picture does that matter. It does not matter if you're not putting out the picture. So, whenever you see megapixels on the camera, that's how many millions of pixels are on that, like, every single picture you take. If you're not printing that out, it does not matter. Keep that in mind. We have a telephoto lens that's a 10.8 megapixel dual telephoto camera, which is actually really cool. 5 times optical zoom, 20 times super red zoom. The Galaxy S23 Ultra goes up to, I think, 200, I believe now. Yeah, because the other one went up to 100. Now it's 200. Laser detect autofocus sensor, optical plus electronic image stabilization, and fast camera launcher. If you guys have never used cameras before, to have OSS built in like this is absolutely amazing. I call it OSS. That's what they call it on Sony. I believe on Canon it's just, is it ISS? I believe image body stabilization. Yeah, I believe it's ISS on Sony, on Canon. But to have a camera where you don't have to worry about, it has like stabilization of the actual camera at all times is amazing. And if you guys have ever used cameras, you know what I'm talking about. Because, like, for example, the Sony A7 III has in-body, like this does. It has the in-body no matter what lens you put on there. But, like, for example, the Canon ST... Canon, not SL2. I would say SL2. 60 Mark II does not. So you have to put lenses on there that actually has ISS built in. This has it built in. It's just really awesome for photography and for video. Mainly for, obviously, photography. I'm sorry, video, but so. Front camera, 9.5 megapixel dual camera. We have an inner camera, which is going to be in the right-hand corner, unlike Samsung that has it kind of like in the middle right here. It's an 8-megapixel camera, which is actually a lot more than what we see out of the Galaxy Z Fold series, which is a 4-megapixel camera. So, a little bit better there, which is actually a big W. Supported features, real camera selfie, magic eraser, photo unblur, long exposure, and real tone. Real camera is a 30 FPS 4K video recording, up to 60 FPS 1080p recording. Okay. Will be a fingerprint. And you do, yeah. So let's talk about this, right? Because at the end of the day, this looks on paper honestly really good. And I'll be honest with you, I am very, very excited about this phone. I am. I've been very excited about this phone for a very long time, even though it has been delayed 1,000 bazillion gazillion times. The price tag is definitely concerning. Again, like I said, it really does matter with the trade-ins and how the trade-ins work, how much you get for trading in certain devices. If they can figure out a way to, you trade in the Z Fold device and you get more money, I think that would be a huge W. You trade in the Surface Duo 2, you get a certain amount of money, that would be a huge W. Even if you want to do Galaxy S23 Ultra, iPhone, whatever. But it really depends on how much they give for trade-ins. That's the biggest factor in all this. When the Surface Duo 2 came out, Surface Duo 1's trade-in value was absolute dog water. And people got upset. People didn't want to buy the Surface Duo 2 for that reason. But for the Z Fold device, sorry, for this Pixel Fold, you're going to have to give us some type of good trade-in value. That's number one. The price tag is high, but if you can give a good trade-in value, that's okay. The pre-order bonus of a Pixel Watch is great. I like that. Usually Pixel Watches, that's like a, what, $300 value, which is actually honestly a big W by, by Google here. Now, why do you buy this phone over going with any other foldable phone? Well, number one, it will be launching with the Tensor G2 chip, and that is a huge W. Tensor G1 chip was an absolute banger. That thing was lightning fast. The Tensor G2 chip, just the same. So that's really why you buy it. It's because it's kind of like when you go to Apple and you get, not only iPhones, because the iPhones use the A16, A15, A14 Bionic chip. But when it comes to their computers like MacBooks, iMacs, whatever, they have the M1, M2, and now they have the M2 Pro Max and M2 Pro chips. Those chips are what's set aside so much versus, like, for example, in the computer world, Intel or AMD. You have Intel, AMD, then you have the Apple silicone chips. They are next level. Kind of how Tensor G2 chip is. It's that next level experience, and you're paying for that next level experience, and that's why you go with this over going with a Galaxy Z Fold 5, Galaxy Z Fold 4, whatever the case. You're going with this phone because of that said reason. And again, like I said, I'll be interested to see, how much people actually pick it up, because I am very hesitant on the idea of an $1,800 phone when it's a first generation product being released by Google. The chance and risk of failure is very high. The good thing about Google, though, is they don't have a track record like Microsoft. They have a track record where if someone goes bad, they just scrap the idea, clean their hands, and walk away like, oh, we didn't release that product. What are you talking about? The Gal? No. We would never do the Pixel Fold. We're doing that next year. Like, they don't have that record. So that's a good thing, because means if you're investing in this device, you might not get absolutely fluffed over by Google here. But I'm still hesitant, man. I'm still very hesitant about this device. I got, delayed so many freaking times. There's so many different, people said different things about it. Like, oh, this could have this, and this. So many different rumors, bro. Guys, have enough of your thoughts, opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.